a day before the Storm traveled to Phoenix 2 weeks ago to take on the Arizona Rattlers in the IFL playoffs. Coach Kurtiss Riggs was asked how much of a motivator revenge might be, given that the Rattlers had defeated the Storm at the Premier Center in last year's United Bowl, ending Sioux Falls' reign atop the Indoor Football League. Riggs crinkled his nose and shrugged his shoulders at the clichéd question, before offering, "I don't think it will be. Except maybe for Lorenzo. I think this game is going to mean a lot to him." Lorenzo Brown, that is. The Storm's veteran quarterback, who's had an up-and-down last few seasons under center, but rose to the occasion in Phoenix, throwing for 167 yards and 4 touchdowns and rushing for 72 yards and 3 scores, to carry the Storm to a 69-68 win that sends them to this Saturday's United Bowl in Des Moines against the Iowa Barnstormers. Was Riggs correct? Was this a particularly meaningful game for Brown, the Briston, Con, native and former USF Cougar superstar? "Yeah, he was right," said Brown, who won national championships in each of his 2 seasons at USF. "I went into that game with the feeling I'd been carrying for the past year, from losing a championship game at home. There were a lot of tears and anger out of that, and I wanted to make the Rattlers feel what I felt. I remembered them celebrating on our field and I wanted to do the same thing. I took it kind of personal, and we sent them packing." More, former South Dakota Coyotes kicker Miles Bergner doing the job for Sioux Falls Storm. It wasn't lost on Riggs, who was the quarterback coach at USF when Brown was there and has guided the Storm to 10 indoor football championships. "I think he felt really good when we won," Riggs said. "He played one of his best games ever. He threw a pick for a touchdown in the first half, but even I was like, hey, Arizona made a great call. So just as he's done all year, he didn't let it rattle him. He came right back out and in the second half he just carried us. I was really happy for him." The long history Brown and Riggs have together creates a sometimes complicated relationship. Riggs is hard on Brown when he struggles. Brown is comfortable enough to give it back to the coach in heated moments. But at this point, they understand each other, and take the good with the bad. "I'll give you a good example," Riggs explains. "Arizona scores first in overtime, and we come out and on the first play we have a check. Andy has to make the check, but he's so nonchalant about it that when he looks up the play clock is at 1 and he has to call a timeout. So I start to reenact him right there in front of everyone, how slow he's moving. I'm screaming at him and he just stands there and waits for me to finish, and then he's like, 'What's the play?' and he goes out and throws the game-winning touchdown." By photo. Lorenzo Brown, 8th of the Sioux Falls Storm, dives into the end zone for a touchdown against the Iowa Barnstormers on Friday, June 8, 2018 at the Denny Sanford Premier Center in Sioux Falls. SD photo. Lauren Townsley, Argus leader. Riggs isn't the only one who gets exasperated with Brown at times. Perhaps spoiled by the heroics of Hall of Famers Terrence Bryant and Chris Dixon, Storm fans tend to direct their dissatisfaction at the quarterback when things aren't going well. That seems to rub Riggs the wrong way, but Brown takes it in stride. "It doesn't affect me," Brown says. "I hear it, that's for sure, but my toughest critic is always going to be myself, and then Coach Riggs. I take the brunt of it from him, but that's only because he knows what kind of player I am and he expects me to lead this team. People can have their opinions," Brown adds. "I mean, I'm a fan, too. I used to F-word Tony Romo all the time. It's part of being invested in a team. You pay your money, you're gonna voice your opinion. Sometimes it gets to me a little, but at the end of the day it goes in one ear and out the other. I think my play speaks for itself." More, former SDSU standout Zach Zenner still focused on NFL dream. "One reason Riggs wishes the fans were more appreciative of his quarterback is there's no player on the Storm roster who cares about winning for those very fans more than Brown. He takes the losses hard and relishes the wins because playing for the Storm means something to him. Sioux Falls has become his home, and he's had highs and lows on and off the field, including a high-profile arrest a few years back and Riggs' occasional flirtation with replacing him under center. By photo. Lorenzo Brown won 2 national championships and an NAIA Player of the Year award at USF. Photo. Argus leader file. Photo. Brown has endured the challenges and matured because of them, and he's continued to improve on the field. Still makes a few too many wild throws that lead to turnovers, but his arm strength and scrambling ability have kept him an electric offensive player. He has 38 touchdown passes and 24 touchdowns rushing this year. Brown led Sioux Falls to IFL titles in 2015 and 2016, and after falling short last year considered retirement. But he wants to be the one to put Sioux Falls back on top. Now 30, Brown isn't playing indoor football to catch the eye of NFL scouts. He's doing it for the chance to continue competing and to try and create a legacy on par with that of Dixon and Bryant, and in that regard he's far more concerned with rings than individual honors. "You're gonna get everything I have for my team, I care about winning and that's it," Brown says. "I know that the NFL is so far away that basically this is my NFL. This is what I'm investing in and sacrificing for. I take it serious because I love playing. I'm a competitor and I'm gonna keep doing it as long as I can." More. Learning to fly. Sioux Falls native Nate Jerry hoping to soar with Eagles. In the early stages of the Storm dynasty there were others like that: Bryant, Mark Blackburn, Andre Fields, James Terry, Corey Johnson, Shannon Popping, Anthony Davis and countless others. But now, Brown's loyalty to the franchise makes him something of a dying breed. "We used to have a lot of guys like that who really cared like Zodas and make it all about the team," Riggs said. "Now it's kind of a rarity to have those guys. He knows he can still play at a high level and he's just trying to enjoy it and have fun.